6 minutes, y'all. Yeah. Two minutes until we begin. Yeah. everyone. Oh, wait. Hello, everyone. How are you? It's the R9cast. Hold up. My seat's messed up. It's the R9cast. Hold up. My seat's messed up. It's the R9. Hold up. My mic's messed up. It's the hold up. Okay, fix it. It's the R9cast, the official Black Dish Chicago show. Super dope show for ElectronBandit.com. ElectronBandit.com. Representing R9. Representing Abyssal Films. Representing All Games. Representing Derek H. Representing Mayor Young and Fantastic Forum. Representing Howl Outcast. Representing who else? Other people. Representing Post Up. Representing whatever. Music's done. And I have to have the AC on. It's real hot. It's like 90 something degrees. It's probably not 90 now because it's like 7 o'clock. But it feel like it's hot. It ain't even summer yet. Oh boy, it's gonna be hot summer. It's gonna be a cruel summer. A lot of those songs from back in the day that I'm like, yeah, I remember that song. Right? You dance like that to it. Do the Carlton via Bruce Springsteen, via Courtney Cox, via but you don't really look at the words, right? You're just like, oh, I like the eyes without a face. All that stuff, right? This is the world we live in. Oh, all that. Songs from the 80s. Except for, Backseat in My Jeep. That's pretty straightforward, explanatory. It's like, you got a Jeep? They were talking about like Suzuki's back in that was like, they were hot back in the day. Don't ask me why. That was before, everybody's like, man, they kind of flip a lot. I don't think I want to drive one of those because they flip. But they were cheap and they were kind of cute. So they're like, I got Suzuki Samurai, boy. You check it out. Backseat of my Jeep. Wasn't even an actual Jeep. They call it a Jeep, but it's just an SUV. It's a little QUV, cute utility vehicle. It's not even sport. It's just like, that's cute. Dangerously cute DQUV. That's what they call them. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, songs. I've been writing some. I will not premiere any today because I'm not ready. I am not ready. PlayStation. Yeah, I gotta make more. I think I have, how many do I have? 1, 2, 3 so far, kind of, sort of, almost. Still working on a few little things, but I want videos as well. You get a song, you gotta have a video. However short or small, little, tiny the video is, still gotta have one. So that's my thing. I gotta bank a whole bunch of songs and videos. Then I can release them at a cadence that is not like, oh, I'll put a video out and then 12 years later, here's the next one. Nah. Because the last video I put out was like seven years ago. And it wasn't good. It's not a good song, not a good video. It's not a good video. It's dumb. But I mean, that's what the point was. But still, it's not. I don't think it's dumb in a good way. I think it's just dumb. It's just like, I'm not watching this. It's like you watch it once. You're like, oh, okay, I saw that. Don't need to see it again. And I made it. I'm not like the one who be hyped up. Oh, my stuff is so hot, son. Oh my God, look, that's fire. Nah, B. I'm like, it's all right. I'll spit something. I'm like, I'll hear like one little thing. I'm like, I wish I would have said that better. But that's the not the perfectionist, but sometimes you're a little bit too critical about stuff. And you're like, just let it go. You want to be efficient. You want to put out stuff at a cadence. You need to put out stuff. You just can't be on it all the time. Like me, I've been procrastinating about finishing that one video, it's good, but I've gone back to make it even better. And that's the cool thing about it. It's like, okay, yeah, sure. It's been delayed for like 2 years. Not really, but feels like it. And I was like, okay, it's going to take me a while to finish. because I need to shoot some more live action green screen elements. And I was waiting for the stuff. I got all the stuff now. Now I just got to actually do it. But then I was like, well, while I'm waiting for the stuff to arrive, it has arrived since, but I was like, I don't like this shot. I don't like that shot. There's a few shots I don't like. A lot of it I don't like. And more, it's not like the shot composition or the camera movement. It's just, I need to add more stuff in the actual scene to make it feel right, if that makes sense. And so I did that with the first one shot that goes from the beginning to the establishing kind of shot. Anyway, so I'm in the process of doing that. I'm still going to add a few more elements to that, even though adding that won't really do a big giant thing. But for me, it will, because I look at the original, I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool. Now I look at the new one, I'm like, that's way better. I'm glad I went back and did that and fixed it, because like before it was like, before it was like elementary. Now I'm a senior in high school, boy. Not finished yet though. So when I finish, I'm gonna have my doctorate in scrasmonology. Scrasmonology. I don't know what that means, but scras. It's probably a word. You know, language is weird. My brain. Okay, so before I before I got in here to sweat and talk to you, peoples, I was watching some of the Game Stack stuff. The Xbox was. Traditionally, I don't look at them. I'm like, oh, I don't want to look at the. Who cares about the how they made the fan and with the thing with the traces on the board, the PCB, blah blah blah. I don't care. And I watched it. I watched a few of them, and I thought to myself, even though this isn't the most exciting thing to watch, how they're presenting it by just regular people talking, not regular people, but super smart regular people talking. Like Mark Cerny is like a specific, definitely on the spectrum, because you cannot be that genius to not be on the spectrum, right? He's got to have some Asperger's sprinkled in there or something, right? But to have him come out for 50 something minutes and bore the hell out of you, and he's just like, I'm like, that was boring, right? But what they're doing there, meaning the Xbox Game Stack peoples, they're splitting them up into about 25-minute segments, right? And it's a lot of them. So it's like, okay, 25 minutes is like, okay, that's just long enough for me to be like, okay, this isn't too long. 55 minutes of Mark Cerny on a green screen, nah, son. Nah, B. And I think they learned. I'm not gonna say Sony learned. I'm not gonna say that, because that would be disingenuous. Sony's gonna do what Sony's gonna do to make their pockets fat and full. First and foremost, that's what Jim Ryan's there for. Jim Ryan is there to make money for the company, for Papa Sony. Not Papa Sony. For whoever's running Sony. Totally forgot his name, but that's okay. That's what Jim Ryan's there for, to make that money. He doesn't have to be nice. He doesn't have to play nice. He doesn't have to even play games. All he has to do is make that money. Now, is that something that you can get behind as a gamer? Is that what, as a gamer, you're like, yo, I want to be behind the company that makes the most money for their shareholders. That's why I'm a gamer. No, that's not it. That's not it. So, ultimately, his plan to make more money does tie into, oh, we got to make these AAA bangers for the customers so they could buy the stuff so we can make more money, right? Sell more consoles. That's the whole, cause and effect type of thing, right? The problem is, he is on making money mode. So it's not like, oh, for instance, The Last of Us, right? Last of Us came out in 2013, early 2012, I think, for PS3. Then they brought out the remaster for the PS4 in 2013. Almost exactly to the day, a year later, the remaster came out for the PS4. I'm like, okay. I was like, that's kind of close, but you're gonna sell it again? People bought it and it's like, okay, that's their business model. Now what are they doing? They're going back to the well. They're acting like The Last of Us is freaking Mario or something. Last of Us is not Mario, son. It's good. I ain't gonna say it's whack. Last of Us is good. Not Mario. You're not gonna have Super Last of Us Brothers 2 or 3 or whatever, where Ellie, like a little chibi Ellie running around shooting mushroom heads or just jumping. Nah, it's not no. You can only milk this cow for so long. Hello, Opti, how you doing? I appreciate you hanging out. I seen the pictures of your setup with the lights. It's nice. And also with the solar contractors coming around trying to sell you stuff. Did I have? I think we did have somebody. Actually, our neighbor that way. They have solar panels on their house. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It would be a nice kind of thing, but it feels like, a little tangent. It feels a little bit like it feels more of a hassle to, okay, we got to hook it up then we got to contact FP&L, make sure, blah, blah, blah. Then they pay us because we're actually putting power into the grid. So, you know what? No. We're not balling like that. If I was a billionaire, solar power everywhere. You know what I mean? Solar power refrigerator. Everything would be solar power. I'm just saying, I'm not a billionaire. I'm a, whatever, 100,000-aire. I don't know what I'm at. What I'm worth? Sure. It's got to be, it's over $100,000. If you want to calculate the price of the house, the worth of the house that we have, plus all our other stuffs. Yeah, sure. Not $1 million. Nah, not even close. But, we're average. We're average people here. I'm not a YouTuber like that. I'm not making like $500,000 a month and stuff. I'm not, that's not us. Yeah, maybe one day, sub to my channel. I'll put the link in Twitch, too. I'm trying to get more subs on YouTube. I ain't gonna lie. I'm trying to get more subs. My net worth is $69. You crazy, boy. But yo, I like your setup, man. Yeah. Anyway, going back to The Last of Us. Well, it's more about like kind of Sony's methodology or thinking, business way, like how they're approaching the business of video games as opposed to other companies, and how in one version of the future it could work out, in another version it could kind of work out. You know what I mean? So what I mean by that is it's all about the money. And this Last of Us remake thing that's happening, and all of the juggling and all of the drama within Sony with Bend and Naughty Dog and whatever that other group was called that has no name, that like most of the people left from there, that's problematic, yes. And that doesn't ensure confidence in a healthy environment for workers, studios, producers, And this is all under Jim Ryan. This is Jim Ryan and Herman Hulst, and they're like, yo, we can't do Uncharted remake because that's gonna cost too much money. I'm like, okay, first, I think the Uncharted movie's gonna be more successful than the Last of Us TV show. First, because you got your boy Tom Holland in there. Come on, son. He's a magnet of a sort. You could fill in the first word with whatever you want to fill it in. I'm just saying he's a magnet. So why would you not put? Okay, this is why they didn't do it. They said, "Oh, it's gonna be too hard, and it costs more money to make an Uncharted remake than a Last of Us remake." I understand that. That's fine. I understand that. But ultimately, you put The Last of Us number 1 next to Uncharted, both remakes next to each other. I will guarantee you Uncharted will sell more. And they could do like a little thing where they tweak the face a little bit, make it look like Tom Holland a little bit, like how they did Spider-Man, you know what I'm saying? They could use the same actor from where they used the Spider-Man when they switched it to the actor in the Spider-Man remake. I mean, the PS4 version where they changed the face. It's another dude. It's another model guy. Use that same guy in the new Uncharted remake. Come on, it only makes sense, right? Han Solo, Indiana Jones, only makes sense. And it's like, they didn't do it because it would cost too much money. But it would make them more money on the other side. And that to me is like, okay, I don't think Sony is looking at I don't know. I think they lost it. Like during the PS3 generation, they were like, oh man, we getting our butts kicked because, we charge too much for, and then it's like, yo, we need to make these bangers, so they were looking at, long term stuff. They're like, yo, we're gonna make these bangers, it's gonna be good, right? Then the bangers came out, and during the PS4 generation, boom, hit, and now everybody shuffled. Your boy Sean Layton's out, everybody's out, whatever the other dude's name's out, and now they got these new people in, and it's like, it's not even, they don't even care. They're just like, quick money. Another example, I think it's not just a PlayStation thing. I think it's a Sony, a company-wide kind of movement, right? So, because I don't want to just sit here and be like, oh, PlayStation, blah, blah, blah. No. All right, me and Bridget watched a movie on Netflix called Over the Moon. I think it was called Over the Moon. It's about this. It's about the Chinese. I believe it's China. Or was it Japan? I don't remember. I think it's China. Sorry. And it's wow, I can't remember which one. Anyway, it's the celebration of the Moon Festival. I think it's China. Moon Festival, blah, 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 blah. And this little girl and her mom dies and blah, blah, blah. And we were watching it. I was like, yo, this got some good animation up in here. What is this? This Pixar? No, of course, not Pixar. It's what is it? Pearl Studio. It's Chinese. It's Pearl Studios. It was a Chinese company and stuff. So Pearl were the producers of this movie, right? Guess who did the animation production? I give you 30 seconds. Okay, 30 seconds up. Sony Animation Pictures. Sony did the animation. Pearl produced it. You see what I'm saying? So Pearl hired Sony to animate their movie. And I'm like, okay, Sony's a huge company, right? Why are they getting hired? Okay. Why are they taking jobs for hire? This is Sony. This is not like, oh, rinky dink, we just started. Hey, but we can do good stuff. Animation studio. No, this is Sony Pictures Animation. Why are they doing third-party work for hire jobs for Pearl? Money. Yes, I understand money. That's how business, But that was a really good animated movie. And if Sony put it out themselves, they would be making that money. But it's a China movie or whatever, and I guess people in America don't like China, blah, blah, blah. I understand Sony is looking at that stuff. And everybody hates China now or whatever, or Asian in general. So, we're not going to put out an Asian. I mean, we're an Asian company, but we don't want to put out an Asian movie because America hates us. And we're trying to have America to love us. Right? I don't know. That might be their thinking, sure, but I mean, it's not. Bridget says, how big is Pearl? How big is Pearl? They're big enough to hire Sony to do the animation for the feature animated film. So, big enough to hire one of the biggest animation studios on the planet. Big. So, yeah. And a lot of those Chinese corporations, they're kind of tied to the government, so you figure that way, they got money. If you got a company in China and it makes, it's fairly large or whatever, you're gonna make money. I'm just saying, that's how it works over there. Anyway, that's that, right? So Sony hired out to do the animation for Over the Moon. An awesome movie, by the way. Music was pretty, okay, I have one problem with the music. And you know how when this has been programmed into us as children, we're watching all these Disney films and Alan Menken and Tim Rice. Anyway, the way that they compose these songs they usually go to a certain note, or lyrically, it'll be like an I to a O or U back to a I instead of a O to O as far as how the rhyming of the words and the vowel sounds go. And it threw me off like 2 times when I was when it was like 2 different songs. And instead of like going back to an I sound, as far as, I mean, the lyrics, it wouldn't have, I don't think, made sense if it went to I as far as the context, but it didn't sound right because maybe it's just me. It's probably just me, but you go to I to O back to I, and it makes it kind of comes back, circles around back. And it makes sense to me, and it threw me off a little bit because I was waiting for the I, and it was like a U or a O or something. I was like, okay, but that's minimal nitpicky stuff that no one else on the planet would pick up on except for me. But like the songs sounded like Disney songs, you know what I mean? It was like it was dope. The animation was so good that it was good. You know what I mean? It was like, yo, why isn't this like out in the theaters? Why isn't this like on Disney Plus? Because honestly, this looks like a Disney quality, like Pixar Disney quality. That's what I'm saying. It's that good. Sony's good at animation. But like I said, the point is, they did it as a work for hire. They did the animation. They did not produce nothing. They produced the animation, but they got hired. Says Pearl. It didn't say Sony Pictures on it. Nothing. Pearl. That's it. It's all Pearl. China Pearl. So that's that. There was another one where my brain is leaving my brain. As far as Sony, the Last of Us thing, though, just doing the remake as opposed to a new game or something. And the thing is that doesn't make sense to me, right? Jim Ryan says, "Yo, we're gonna concentrate on AAA bangers, and that's it, nothing else," right? From first party, I would assume. And so I'm like, okay, that's one way to go, but they're acting like they're in a vacuum and nobody else exists, right? So Nintendo really isn't competition for them in their eyes, right? But Microsoft is, right? Microsoft has 23 companies, probably over 30 studios, because as far as the last thing I heard is that Obsidian has like 3 or 4 studios, like sub-studio within Obsidian working on 4 games. And I'm like, okay, that's a lot. That's one studio. So you want to multiply every studio with 4? No, I'm okay. That's unrealistic because that's not happening. But I'm just saying, one studio is making 4 games. Another studio making 2, 3. Who knows? They're not disclosing all that stuff. Still early. PlayStation Movie Pass coming to PS Plus. How we can talk about that. So they got 13 studios. They have 12 studios because they closed down Japan studios. So -1. So they have less studios to make these games. They're going to have even less output because not every studio is a AAA banger producer. So some of these studios are going to turn into support studios, just like Bend was going to turn into a support studio for Naughty Dog. And they said, nah, we don't want nothing to do with this, Last of Us. We out, or give us something different. And they're like, okay, you could do something different. This is after like some of the people left. Or was it was the other group that like the leader left, a whole bunch of people left from there. I don't know where they ended up. Maybe Microsoft scooped them up and said, hey, you need a job? Yes, scoop. Yeah, go work on Perfect Dark or something. I don't know. Or so you want to make something, whatever. We gonna throw it on Game Pass though. Okay. Oh yeah. I mean, you get paid. We paying you anyway, so just make a game. Just make a game. It's not about the money. We make so much money that it's not about the money. And so that's another thing, right? Microsoft makes so much money that, they can be more risky in their decisions, in their output. They can say, oh, let's make this crazy game. Who knows? Maybe it'll be cool, right? Throw a couple million on that one right there. Let's go. Sony is like, nah, we can't. We penny pinching. We gotta, nope, we can't do that. Let's use the cheapest plastic and the PS5. If you notice, the middle part of that's some cheap ass plastic right there. They put some work on those fins on the sleeves, on the collars. But the middle part's like, But it is big, so I'll give them a pass because it's like, yeah, we got to use a lot of plastic on it. This is a big system. Anyway, Sony is all about making money first and foremost. Which, I mean, every business is, but it's how you go about making money, right? It's like the whole thing that happened with the stock market and GameStop, right? And all these short sellers and all the the stock market's like, oh, all these rich people. This is how these rich people get rich. They go and they buy these junky stocks or whatever that'll lose, and then they're gonna buy them low, sell them back. That's how they make their money. It's like, okay, that's one way to do it. Or you can make a real nice product that everybody wants to buy, and you just make the money because you make something good to enrich the lives of the humanity peoples. That's good too. I would say that's better. If you make something, it's like, yo, I invented this thing. I think it's kind of useful. Here you go. You can buy it. And then everybody buys it and it's the best thing. Right? Changes society for the better. Or we're just going to recycle some stuff and put some paint on it and charge you full price. Yeah. Nothing new. We ain't saying nothing new. It's the same stuff we've been. I mean, it was good when it came out the first time. It sold a lot, so we figured that people liked it, and so we'll make it again in hopes that you'll like it again the same way. And the thing is, The Last of Us came out, I'm gonna say 2012, I think, or 2013. I can't remember. I think it was 2012. It's gonna be 10 years next year. And so, if you're a 10-year-old when The Last of Us came out, you're 20 now, right? Or you're 15, you're 25. Maybe you got kids. And your kids, are they going to be like, "Oh, I want to play The Last of Us remake"? No. The person who played it the first time wants to play it, but not the new stuff. And I think that's something that Sony's missing. They've tried. I'm not gonna say, oh, they suck because they didn't. No, they've tried to make games for the youth, the younger peoples. Destruction All Stars is kind of sort of. It's just not nothing there. It's just like, Concrete Genie's another one. I was like, okay, but no, you missed the mark on that one. Dreams, I think it was the closest thing, but the problem. One of the problems with Sony's approach is that they're trying to push PS5 unit sales when they should be concentrating on the software. Because if Dreams blew up and was the best, well, everybody was using Dreams. Like, yo, Dreams is on PC. We making all these games. It's the Dreams marketplace. It would push aside roadblocks. It's like, yo, we taking over. Roblox is done. Now it's Dreams, right? And that way, it'll be like, oh, and now we have this game that's evergreen. You can make a game that makes games, and the music production thing on that thing is crazy. And I'm like, they didn't promote it. They didn't promote it, and it was stuck on the PlayStation 4. I don't have a PlayStation 4. I can't play Dreams. If it was on PC, at least people would be like, oh, it's going on PC. Or they could say, oh, it's going to come out on Xbox 2 because we want everybody to get into Dreams. Guess what? Roblox, Minecraft, all the games that are top, Fortnite, I've said this before, they're on everything. They don't discriminate. And so that whole notion of, oh, we need to push console sales on PlayStation side is hurting the software. Dreams didn't sell billions and billions. There are people on there still, rocking out in Dreams. I'm waiting for the day for them to shut down the servers because that's what's going to happen. Because ain't nobody playing it. It ain't making no money, so bye. But you got to put it in an environment so it can make money. You got to put it in more markets. You got to put it in front of more people. But they don't want to do that. They want to sell PS5s. They want to sell PS4s. And I'm like, hey, you know what? Look, this is your choice. That's how you want to play it. I want to play it. Now we can get to the movie pass. I don't understand Sony. Right, so they're doing this movie pass thing. It's a trial in Kazakhstan or something. I don't know, Poland or something. I don't know where it's a trial somewhere in Europe. They just did a deal with Netflix to host their, is it the Spider-Man movies, or it's I think it is the Spider-Man movies, right, on Netflix, or I forgot what movies there were, but they just did a Netflix deal to have some of their content on Netflix. And I'm like, okay. I mean, unless they can also put that content that's on Netflix onto PS Plus Movie Pass, if that's the case, then I got no problems. Then that's a smart move, because they're getting a little bit of money from Netflix, and then they could put it on their own stuff, right? But if it's just like, yeah, no, it's just going to be on Netflix exclusive for a year or whatever. Once again, that's the Sony getting that money. That's the Sony, yo, we need to make the monies bigger. And I'm like, they're just holding themselves out to everybody, yo. Like, yo, you want the movies? Okay. I mean, you got Venom, you got Blood, whatever, that Vin Diesel stupid movie that nobody watched. It's like a bunch of hot garbage movies. The best movie is Venom. I saw Venom. I was like, okay. It's like, it's not, I mean, it's okay. Honestly, Tom Hardy's voice really it's something about it. It's just like, he's like a big man. He's like, it's like, what's wrong with your voice, son? I think he should have not got big muscles, because when he was in Star Trek, was it Insurrection, where he was Picard's clone, the younger Picard, he's like, I was like, okay, that voice matches the little skinny guy, but then he got all swole, but his voice didn't change. I'm like, he sounds better with the accent, of course, but you know, he was from Brooklyn or something in Venom, so I was like, I'm like, no. No. Yeah, Eddie Brock traditionally was like a bully to Peter Parker, right? I don't know, man. Sony's messing up the Marvel universe, not the MCU, but the Marvel movie universe, the MMU. So badly, because they're holding on to that Spider-Man. And tangent. They can't make a decent Spider-Man movie without Marvel. I mean, look at Venom. Venom was alright, but compare that to the Spider-Man movies? Nah. And some people are like, oh, but the Spider-Man movies are too kiddies, like John Hughes Spider-Man. I'm like, you know what? It's still better than Venom. I mean, you could say what you want to say about it, but hey. Anyway, watching the game stack, I was wondering if Sony, I know they're not going to do this because it wouldn't benefit them to do this. But if Sony did the same thing where they would break it out and say, yo, check out this architecture and all the stuff and all the new stuff we're doing and stuff, right? They're not going to do that because Sony did that 55-minute whatever crazy talk. And it was there. And it was like, huh? What's he talking? They would put numbers up there. It's like, okay. You comparing PS4 to P, but okay, I understand. But you trying to make it sound good, but you're just confusing people. I'm just saying. And I watched the game stack. I was like, okay, this is boring, but at least I understand everything they're saying. They're like, okay, how we made the architecture, how we made the actual PCB board. We have to composite it with different materials, high temperature materials and stuff. And then they had to like lay double traces for the traces, because the high power output and all that. I was like, okay, you know, I didn't realize all this stuff was kind of there's a lot of thought put into this Xbox here. And I'm looking on the Sony side, I'm like, that's just a PlayStation 4, different, a little cutout for the fan, different chips on there. I mean, if you look at it from technically speaking, if you look at it from materials, technical, both, if you just look at the PCB, the PlayStation 5 PCB, and the Xbox Series X PCB, if you look at both side to side, you'd be like, and you're like, oh, you know, someone says, which one is more high tech? you're not going to look at the PlayStation 5. It's green, it's ugly, and if you know what you're doing, you're looking at it, it's like, okay, why is that RAM? I mean, why is the SSD soldered to the board? That's not good. What if it fails? You got to desolder the SSD chips off and then replace. That makes no sense. On both the Series X boards, it's like a M.2 slot basically on the board. You just unscrew it, bit, plap, boop. That's it. So you could take an S and put a 2 gigabyte joint in there if you wanted to, if you had the right firmware and stuff on it. I'm like, yo, that's what I'm talking about. So you could get an S and hyperpower it, maybe. But here's kind of the beauty about the Xbox Series S. Not the X, because the X is what it is, right? It's that. But the S is small, right? And so we know how technology works, right? The chips will get smaller and faster and cooler and all that stuff. So you figure a generation or two, or say if they go to 5 nanometer, right? And they say, oh, they go to 5 nanometer for the next gen. And so they can say, okay, we're going to take our cues from the Series S and say, okay, form factor wise, it can be that small. It could probably be smaller because it's a smaller chip, or it could be that smaller manufacturing processes, 5 nanometer versus 7. You can pack more resistors in there, so it'll be a more powerful chip at the same size, or maybe a little bigger. So it could be as powerful as the Series X, but in the size of a Series S. Like, talk about next, or maybe mid-gen refresh rate, or mid-gen refresh, or I would say next gen, more realistically. So that's kind of the beauty of that design. I mean, the Series X design is the way it is because it's so high powered and there's a lot of stuff moving in there fast and you got a lot of heat, so they had to make it big and chunky. But the Series S is pretty, So, and then I look at those two and I look at the PS5 and I'm like, what are y'all doing? When did y'all just not stop giving a F about hardware? Because that's what it seems like. It seems like on the Sony side, they're like, yo, we need to save money and then we need to make all the money. It's like, okay, that's a good plan, but your console's big, man. It's big and it's loud and it's about to get louder. I mean, I'm going to say it's not loud now because it's brand new. But they said summertime they're going to put some new updates on that fan of yours. Because once they unlock that whatchamacallit, and the SSD, the internal SSD, that's more heat. They got to put the fan up. That's why they're doing it. Obviously, come on, y'all know. And I'm like, okay, wait, is there going to be a heat sink on? Can you put the heat? That's my question. If you buy an SSD to put into your internal slot on the PS5, can you have a heat sink on that as well? It didn't seem like it would fit because of that little shroud, that little plate that they put on there. So maybe you don't put the plate back on and just leave it open. I mean, that might be the move. If you put a heatsink on it and it's sticking out a little bit, I mean, that might be the move. But then, no, that wouldn't work because then you can't put the collars back on because it would protrude out and it wouldn't fit. Sounds like a hot mess that the issues haven't even come up yet because we haven't even gotten to that bridge yet when it comes to PS5. It's like, all right. And that's scary because it's like, all right, we got a new console. Yeah. And like, no, okay, it's April, right? We're 6 months in. We should be like, all right, all the bugs are squashed. We're good. Let's go. This generation, yeah. No, not with the PlayStation. It's like, nope. We got some more bumps coming up. There's gonna be some more crazy stuff happening in a bad way because more heat means you know what that means. I'm just saying. Look, it's just what's gonna happen, and it would have been better for them to get that stuff out of the way at the jump, to get all that stuff worked out. Now it's like it's almost like it's gonna be another launch, another host of problems. Because you know there's going to be problems. There's going to be overheating problems. There's going to be sound problems, acoustic problems, fan noise. That's what that means. That's just what it is. It's just physics. That's what's going to happen. It's going to get hot. The fans y'all going to be complaining. Y'all going to be complaining about the jet engines back. That's what's going to happen. And it goes back to, I thought Sony was better than that, yo. My question is, why is this console so not good? I mean, performance-wise, it's doing its thing. It's not slouching for now. And I have my own ideas about why that is, but right now it's doing okay. It's doing what it needs to do. Let's just say that. But moving forward, like I said, we're only 6 months in, so let's imagine this generation will be 8 years as opposed to 7 years, because we had added a year because of the apocalypse. So 8 years. 8 years from 2020 is 2028. That's why I say the next generation of consoles come out, right? So will there be a mid-gen refresh? Xbox says no. Xbox says, nah, we're good. We made our console, but our console's good. We good, right? I'm like, okay. That makes sense. I mean, they haven't even put out all the full tools, so you figured, yeah, y'all still. I mean, they're starting, so it's like, okay, y'all, okay, now it's better. Oh, okay. PlayStation's like, yeah, we look at how good our stuff is, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, that's not gonna last for 8 years. No. You look at the history of PlayStation, right? Remember, you look at the history, you look at trends. Every PlayStation generation had iterations. Every single one. PlayStation 4 had the PlayStation 4. PlayStation 4, PlayStation Slim, PlayStation 4 Pro, right? They had 3 different versions. Actually, 4 different versions. Because they had a revision of the first PlayStation that they didn't change anything outwardly. But they changed some stuff inside. Anyway. PlayStation 3 had the PlayStation 3 Fat, PlayStation 3 in the middle, and the PlayStation 3 Slim with the little slidey thing, right? PlayStation 2 had the PlayStation 2 Fat and the PlayStation Slim, I think. The PlayStation 2 Slim. I have the PlayStation 2 Slim. It's super tiny. It's a small-ass console. PlayStation 1 had the PlayStation. Then they had another version of PlayStation with different audio outputs in the back. And then they had the PS1. Also, the PlayStation 2 console generation had the PSX as well. I forgot about that one. So every generation of PlayStation consoles has had multiple variations, if you will, of PlayStations. So, thinking about that, I can see, and looking at what the PlayStation 5 is now, not including the discless version. I don't really include that as a different iteration. That's not, all they did was take out the disk drive. That's not it. I'm talking about getting new chips in there, smaller, more efficient. Stuff stops getting made, so they have to switch to different stuff. It's just the nature of, electronic manufacturing. If they stop making a chip, you have to replace it with something probably cheaper, probably smaller. And it reduces the cost and all that stuff. So it's beneficial to the manufacturers and consumer, everybody, right? So it's going to happen. So it's just a matter of when it's going to happen. Now, with the PlayStation 4, was it like 2 years in, right? When did the PlayStation 4... Oh, no, the Slim came out first, and then the Pro came out. And that was the same year, right? So it was 2016. So 3 years. 3 years. 3 years. I think I'm right. 3 years after the launch of the PlayStation 4 came the Slim and the Pro. So if we take that plus a year, we're going to add 6 months to a year to the timeline because, like I said, the pandemic. So we'll just do it simple math. Let's add a year. So the PlayStation, let's say 2021, 3 years from that, 2024. So in 2024, this is my prediction. 2024, we're going to see a PS5 Slim and a PS5 Pro. Both of those. Now, the whole reasoning behind a PS5 Slim is to, of course, make it smaller. Now, here's the thing. I think they may go and copy what Xbox did, meaning the two PCB boards versus the one giant board, to make the console seem smaller. When volume wise, it's not really. I mean, it is, but not. It's just a perception thing. So they might do that, among other things, because in my experience watching Sony, they do not innovate. And I say this all the time. They don't innovate. They usually just take what's popular and try to make it better, which is not a bad thing. But I don't remember the last time I've seen them innovate in any place. And I guess that goes back to making money, right? They want to make money, see what's making money. Oh, let's make our version, charge a little bit more, make it better. So, I mean, I guess that's a good business model. And Sony kind of positions themselves as a premier high-end company when it comes to consumer products. So I think PlayStation is in a unique area where it's like, okay, Sony's a high-end electronics manufacturer, but the PlayStation brand of products cannot be out of reach for the common man because you ain't gonna make the money. So they're in the middle where it's like, okay, we want to make all the money, but we make the best stuff, so it's gonna cost more. So all the rich people who got billions of dollars will buy it because they think it's the best one. Actually, it might be a little bit better, but really, is it that bad? Is it really that much better? Nah, not really. You know, it's a shame. That's why there's a lot of Chinese knockoffs of Sony stuff. It's basically the same product. They just like steal it and remake it and put some different badging on it and whatever. Anyway, the whole contract thing. Those contracts, as it says in the title. Did I talk enough about the movie pass thing? I think, okay, one last thing about the movie pass thing. That's not a Game Pass competitor. That's not even close to anything that's close. If that's what Jim Ryan was talking about we got a competitor to Game Pass that's we working on. If that's it, y'all can kiss this generation goodbye. You can kiss a good Blockbuster station. That's what I call you, because that's not it. That's even more Blockbuster. They talk about PlayStation Movie Pass. They literally blocked Blockbuster right now. I can't even talk. They literally Blockbuster Video right now, going up against Netflix. Come on, son. Oh boy, Jim Ryan's in trouble. And then he put out that about, oh, we made a mistake. We're not gonna close the store. I'm like, oh, yeah, huh? Okay. Oh, you trying to get humble right now or something? We made a wrong decision here. But the other decisions weren't wrong. All them other decisions. The PlayStation Movie Pass decision, that's not a wrong decision. Remember TV? I'm just saying, you guys got short memories. Movie Pass. Okay, so that's not a competition thing. I don't know what they're trying to do. I mean, they're trying to increase value to PS Plus. And that's another thing. They're cannibalizing their own services. PS Plus is here. PS Now is here. What are you doing? You know, it's like, wait, should I get PS Plus instead of PS Now? Because PS Plus got the movies and stuff now. PS Now ain't got that. So they're going to get more people on PS Plus. Unless, like I said, if they merge PS Plus and PS Now, keep it the same price, then that's the move to do it right there. But if they want to make all the money, they're probably going to increase the price if they do that. But anyway, contracts. We know that contracts exist in video games for publishers and studios and blah, 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 right? And console makers, console manufacturers. That's a thing. It happens. It's there. Blah, 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 right? But one thing has changed in video games recently, 3 years ago, and that was Game Pass. Now, when Game Pass first came out, I was like, whatever, bleh, whatever. Oh, that's like PS Now, whatever. But as it stands today, the rumor is Xbox Game Pass has 23 million subs. Last time they told us, in January, it was at 18. The time before they told us, it was at 15. And the time before that, it was at 10. Last year, this time, it was at 10. It's grown more than doubled in a year's time. And it seems, if that number is correct, that the uptake is actually increasing. It's not just a million per month anymore. It's more than that because they had 23 as opposed to it should be at 21 or something. If it was be month to month, million per month. So they're actually exceeding what they were doing. The growth is accelerating, which is good, for something like this. And I think it's only going to keep growing until Halo Infinite comes out. Once Halo Infinite drops, it's going to be a big giant surge. And then, if Halo Infinite is the beginning of the games starting to drop for the PlayStation, for the Xbox, then there's no reason that they couldn't get to like 100 million subs on Game Pass. I don't see why. That's high. Let's be real, 80 million. Let's say that. Because like Disney Plus is over 100 million. We can like, okay, that's Disney though. You know what I'm saying? Everybody needs that. But like Game Pass, I say 80. I'm gonna say 80. It might level out around 80. But like the momentum is so crazy that it's like they're at 23 already. I was saying 20 just to be like conservative or whatever, or realistic. But they're at 23, and that's more than a million per. Okay, so if this continues and the hype continues, as far as like Game Pass, they keep getting these third party, day one third party deals, and Sony's over there charging 70. It's gonna keep growing, keep going and growing, and this goes to the contracts. The contract that Sony and Capcom struck. The contract that Sony made Capcom sign. There was like, Sony was like, I have a proposition that you cannot refuse. I can't even do it. And Capcom was like, what? And then they're like, here you go. And they slid it across the table. Capcom looked at it. It's like, but we can't go on the game. No, you can't go on to Game Pass. That's the most important. Give me the Sharpie. Let me highlight that for you. Not on Game Pass, fool. 7 years, my man. Or woman. You can't do that. Screen what did that? Picture pages up in here. No Game Pass. Capcom's like, but how much more money are you gonna give? Because Mr. Capcom really wanted to be on Game Pass. Hold up now. We'll give you PS Now? Y'all still got PS Now? Is that what y'all really? Yeah, so how much money more money you gonna give us? Because like I said, Mr. Capcom really was looking forward to the player base of the Game Pass thingy. And they have a lot of people over there playing, and we want a lot of people playing our game. Because we're gonna sell like skins and stuff, like carrot skins, or I don't know, zombie dog skins or stuff. I don't know, we'll sell something. Big vampire lady skins or stuff. We'll sell that stuff, and they have a lot of people that would buy it, right? So yeah, listen, we have PS Plus with movies now. You can put Resident Evil 6 on there. we don't make the move. That's a different division of. That's not even us. That's like New Line or we don't have anything to do with those movies. If we had something to do with those movies, they would be better. I think they would be better. I don't know. We make games over here at Capcom. Mr. Capcom wants to be on Game Pass, and you're making it very difficult right now. Oh, that's the. Oh, okay. You got some zeros on there. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I think this contract looks okay. I think we're gonna swap. We're going to sign that up right there. Thank you, Mr. PlayStation. I'm glad doing business with you. Oh, thank you, Mr. Capcom. Mr. Capcom Jr. I'm glad. And we got a good deal. Yeah, high five and elbow. And that's what happened. That was the contract deal. That's not what happened. I'm just saying, look. The fact that they have the clause in there. Sony has this clause in there that says you can't go on Game Pass for 7 years. I think it was 7 years, or maybe it's a year. Who knows? Is an indication as to the fear that Sony has. This is proof that Game Pass is kicking their ass. When you put it in a contract, like, yo, you can't do that. That's too good for gamers. Gamers want to no. It's clear as day. It's like and look, people were like jumping around all over the parity clause and blah, blah, blah. Oh, you can't have the features. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, look, that's not even. I don't even care about that resolution frame rate. I don't even care about that. That's not an issue. The issue with that contract was the Game Pass clause. That's what I should have named this show, the Game Pass clause. Because that shows the industry that Sony is scared of Game Pass. Sony is scared of Game Pass. They ain't got nothing to combat it except for a contract to try to stifle the content. And so here's the thing. Capcom fell for that. Capcom fell for the banana in the tailpipe. Capcom's a Japanese company. Maybe they feel that they have some allegiance to Sony because they're a Japanese company. Sure. Patriotism, whatever. That's fine. Not every company is Capcom. MLB, for instance, it's not Capcom. MLB slapped Sony in the face so hard with their baseballs, that I'm still laughing. Inside, I'm laughing every second of the day because I'm looking at MLB and I'm looking at Sony and I'm like, yo, that is, look, I'm an Xbox fan. I'm not a Sony fan. I'm looking at Sony and I'm feeling sorry for Sony. I'm like, yo, that is messed up. But karma's a BI, ain't it? You want to be bragging about, oh, we got the only baseball game, hey, oh, hey, we got the best exclusives, oh, hey. Meanwhile, you have to make a exclusive for your competitor, your arch enemy. You have to make the game that is your exclusive. Wow. That's the biggest insult. And them being a Japanese company, that's losing so much face. It's ridiculous. They probably can't even talk about it. They'll be like, yeah, we can't talk about it. They feel so much shame over there right now because it's like, oof. It's San Diego who made it, so they're not really feeling shame in America. But I bet you the higher ups over at Sony are like, man, what the. Not Jim Ryan. He doesn't give a damn. I'm talking about the Japanese guys over there in Japan, and they're looking from across the pond. They're like, what the hell is going on over? How is MLB on the Xbox? Hold up. Beep, 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 boop, 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 beep. Hello, Jim. What's going on? What the hell? What's this MLB situation? Well, you see, MLB, they came to us and they said that we need to put it on the other consoles, or they gonna pull out of the deal. Sorry, my accent's all over the place. I sound like I'm African or something. Oh, really? How did this happen? Pray tell, please tell Papa Sony what the hell's going on. How did MLB just all of a sudden grow some cojones, and now they talking smack to us. They talking back to Papa Sony. How is that happening? Well, you see, we do not own the MLB. We just get the permission from them. I understand how licensing works, Jimothy. You don't need to tell me this, okay? But explain to me how it's on the Xbox. That's what I want to know. Well, you see, Mr. Sony, that hello? Hello? Oh, hello? That motherflower just hung up. That was the conversation between Jim Ryan and Mr. Sony. I don't know who the president of the CEO of Sony is right now. Look, it is crazy that this is happening. This is like back in the day, right? You got Mario, right? You got Sonic, you got Nintendo, you got Sega. Imagine, well, that's not a good example. I was gonna say, imagine if Nintendo had to make Mario for Master System or for Genesis. That doesn't make sense because Nintendo owns it. But it's just a messed up type of thing. What's up, Legend? How you doing? Appreciate you popping in. Hopefully everything's going good with you. Excuse. Legend says, it's so funny to me. MLB has been exclusive for 10 years and you've never given a rip about it. You guys get it for 1 year and now you all about it. No, I don't care. I think I downloaded it. I haven't played it yet. I don't care about it. It's not about MLB. It's about the position that MLB, the entity, has put Sony in. That's what it's about. It's about third party having an exclusive on PlayStation for years, like you say, 10 years or however long it's been, and all of a sudden be like, nah, put it on Xbox. Like now, right? Like at this particular time when Game Pass is jumping off, and then Microsoft, throws in a little bit of sweeten the pot a little bit to MLB. MLB's like, more money? Because we had a rough year last year. I don't think y'all realize. Nobody went to any games, so we need some money right now. And then Microsoft's like, here you go. It's on Game Pass day one, and it's like, and Sony's sitting there like $70. It's so messed up. It's so messed up that I feel bad for Sony. Only I feel bad for them in a way, but I don't feel bad for them not because of Sony themselves. Jim Ryan a little bit, but it's mainly like the vitriolic and the super hyper pony fanboy guys, who are like, oh, and they talking a lot of pee poo poo, and not like you're a fan, right, Legend, and that's cool, and but some of these guys is ridiculous. They're off. I'm like, y'all gotta chill. I mean, it ain't that serious. Come on, this is video games. So, Legend says, you think they just choose to do this? You think Microsoft didn't come up with the check? Yeah, of course they did. Of course. No, well, I think Microsoft might have persuaded them to do it, but ultimately, like I said, MLB was in just like a lot of, I'm not sure, but MLB in particular, they baseball, right? They get their money from ticket sales, basically. And merchandising too, but ticket sales was zero for the most part. 2020, nobody went to games; it wasn't allowed, right? So, I mean, they got their advertisement money from the televised and stuff like that, but they lost in all that money in ticket sales. So maybe the number that Microsoft gave them was kind of equivalent to that. So it's like, all right, and MLB went to Mike, and what do you guys want? Xbox, and Xbox was like, put it on Game Pass day one, put it on Xbox, playing game. That's it. I'm like, that's it? Yeah, that's it. Okay. And look, if I was MLB, I'd do the same thing. I'm like, shoot, we need to make up some money. We ain't making no money in a year. That's billions of dollars. I'm pretty sure Microsoft didn't give them billions of dollars, but I'm just saying. Yeah, no. Of course they gave them money. Of course they. Every time anything comes on Game Pass day one, Microsoft is paying those devs, that company, publisher, whatever. They are paying them. That's how Game Pass works. You know, and Sony is like, you know, full price. You get the money of the sales, and you know both ways work. One way is easier, I guess. And especially if you already have an install base, like if you're a dev or you're a publisher, you say I got a game, where am I gonna put it? You know, that's a question. You know, if you're a dev or a publisher, you're like, yo, I got this game, where are we gonna sell this? How are we gonna make some money right now? You'd be like, I'm gonna put it on PlayStation, and then we can track it and sell some units and do some ads, which we have to pay for, but you know, all that stuff, we could do that. We could put it on Steam. And hopefully it'll just blow up, be viral. Maybe a streamer will play it or something. Who knows? We put it on Game Pass, where we get money from Microsoft up front, depending on the contract. You know, you'd be like, yo, we want all the money. And then maybe we get a little bit of something every download. Or maybe we get a little bit of money in front and get a bigger percentage on the download, on each download. You never know what these contracts are like. How they can kind of be chopped up. Who knows? The point is, they getting money day one. To put the game on Game Pass, devs is getting paid. And people are like, oh, how are they making money? Look, Microsoft got money. Don't worry about that. Let Microsoft give other people money. That's what I'm saying. Y'all be hating Microsoft. Not when I say y'all, I'm not talking about you specifically. I'm just saying the people who hate Microsoft don't think about the devs, right? Like if you a dev, if I'm part of a dev team, but I'm not in charge of, you know, where the game goes and all that stuff. I'm just the music and sound guy. So, but if our game goes to Game Pass, I'm gonna be like, yo, we getting paid day one. So what's up? Who's getting what now? What's the percentage of split there? You know what I'm saying? I'm getting paid. That's what yes, thank you. Instead of, oh, let's put it on Steam. Hopefully it does good. And it sells nothing. And then you're like, well, that was a waste of 5 years. Thanks. You know, some people, especially starting off, little indie studios, they need that guaranteed money. And Microsoft is guaranteeing money, and that's important. That's what a lot of ponies are like. Nah, man, whatever, dollar is how they gonna make money. That's not it. You're not thinking about the little guy. You're not thinking about the devs. You know. You worrying about how's Microsoft making money? Don't worry about that. How's Xbox making money from Microsoft? Don't worry about that. Worry about the people making the games, because that's what you play. You're not playing Microsoft stock. You know what I'm saying? You're not playing Windows. You're using it. You're not playing. That was a dumb example. Legend says, well, the joke's on Microsoft. MLB has been putting out diminishing returns for the last 7 years. Fact of the matter is people are playing less baseball games than ever before, so I don't mind it going multiplayer. At least MLB can make some money of it. Oh, sorry. 1 second. Okay, that was it. Yeah, I heard this year's was kind of like more of the same. I think they added Creative Stadium or something like that, and some little stuff, but it's not like a big giant. Oh, it's way better than So I was like, I mean, look, is that an indication that San Diego Studios out of gas on that or something? Or I mean, what's the deal? Because I haven't been following MLB. I haven't been playing it. Because honestly, baseball's like, I could barely watch it on TV. Only time baseball is interesting to me is if I'm at a game and you're just chilling and it's nice. It's like a nice, cool spring day. It's like you feel the cool, and then you hear the crack of the crack, and you hear you get a dirty hot dog, dirty water, dirty hot dog. That's good. That's I'm like, I like this. You know, I like the ambiance. I like the environment, the crowd, everybody there, the sounds. You know, and when you go to a baseball game, on TV, it looks like, oh man, the outfield is so huge. But then you go to the baseball game, it's like, that don't look that big. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, that's all right. It's just a different perspective when you go live. That's the only time I enjoy baseball. Not on TV, not playing a game. When What's the last baseball game I played? Played. It might have been RBI, the first RBI baseball on NES. Might have tried, like, played a game of it, and I was like, okay, this is dumb. That's a super basic baseball game, but yeah, I like I said, the point is that a first-party Sony studio had to make, which was an exclusive of theirs, on their primary competitor's platform, and they're getting screwed in the process because of said competitors' options of playing the game. And that's where Sony is getting outplayed right now. No pun intended. And Outriders as well, even though that's third party. I mean, MLB is more of a slap in the face, because that's their game. They made the game. But the real thing, and this is where the contract thing comes in, but the real danger to Sony is this third party first day one on Game Pass. If Microsoft can secure like Battlefield, the next Battlefield, if they can secure Call of Duty, I doubt it, because I think Call of Duty is still in bed with PlayStation. But if they secure like Call of Duty and Battlefield and all these big giant games, GTA or something, then that's it. Sony can't compete with that. It's like I listen to a lot of podcasts. Every podcast is like, yeah, I wasn't going to play MLB, but it's on Game Pass, so I just give it a try. That's what Game Pass is. It's like, I wouldn't usually play this game or usually buy this game at full price, but it's there waiting for me to play. Let me just play. And the people making these games want people to play their games, especially multiplayer games, like MLB or like, more so like a Fortnite or something like that, but that's free to play. But Outriders is a perfect example. It's like you need people playing because that's what type of game. It's a single player game as well, but multiplayer co-op is more the thing. But like more of these, like, not service games, but multiplayer influence games or multiplayer games are out there that come out third party. If Microsoft secure, because these games, like the games that need audiences, like numbers to play games, like concurrent players. Those are the games that I think Microsoft was looking at. And Call of Duty and Battlefield will be the big, or the next Battlefront or whatever. But if Microsoft secures those as Game Pass day ones and Sony can't do anything to combat that, it's kind of a wrap in that respect. Now, I'm not saying it's a wrap totally because Sony still got some bangers coming out. We can never, overlook that. Yes, they have bangers. Yes, they're going to be single player games. Maybe they're multiplayer. I guess it's the Last of Us factions. Maybe that'll be something. Who knows? We'll see. They have had zero luck as of the past two and a half generations, 3 generations. I guess SOCOM was pretty good on the PS2. I don't know. Legend says, I got the last 7 MLBs for free on Plus. Never played a single one. Yeah, that happens to me too. Like, oh, let me get that. You know what I played? I played Dark Void recently. I played like the demo a long time ago, but I never played Dark Void from the start. That's a 360 game. And I was playing it. I started like listening to the voice acting. I was like, hold up, that's Nathan Drake right there. Nolan North plays the protagonist. I totally forgot the name of the protagonist is, but he's literally Nathan Drake. The voice. He's just playing Nathan Drake. It's not even different. It's not even like, it's just Nathan Drake. He kind of looked like him a little bit too, but I was like, yo. But once again, this game came out after, I think the second Uncharted came out, but before the third one. This came out in 2010, and Uncharted 1 came out in 2006, 7, something like that. 6. I don't remember. But I think it was 7. But yeah, Dark Void is okay. It's not good. It's like if the shooting was like Gears of War shooting, because it's basically a third-person over-the-shoulder shooter, cover shooter. And it's an actual dog fighting when you get the jetpack, but I haven't got to that part yet. Well, they have a but I'm in the main game. But anyway, if they got the shooting right in that game, it would have been good. It'd have been good. I got Dark Void for free on PS Plus about 4 years ago. You telling me you just got it today? I just got it on Game Pass now. No, it wasn't on Game Pass. It was on Games with Gold, so I just downloaded it. It wasn't on Game Pass. I think it was on Game Pass before too, but I didn't play it. Yeah, it was on there a long time ago. But I got it on Games for Gold because that's when like it's mine, it's free. So yeah. But yeah, the voice acting kind of threw me. I was like, oh shoot, that's kind of and know what's funny? This is what I've noticed. I played a couple of 360 games recently, and I played original Xbox games, and then if we go from generation to generation, we'll just talk about Xbox right now, but it applies to PS2, PS3, PS4, right? It's the same. So you go from Xbox, PS2 to Xbox 360, PS3 to Xbox One, PS4, right? So original Xbox and PS2 games were a certain way, right? They were a certain way. Menus were a certain way, kind of laid out. It feels like you look at it, it feels like, oh, this is a PS2 game or whatever, right? Then you go to 360, same thing. They're the same, except a little bit better, a little bit more responsive as far as like the menus, and it looks high resolution or whatever. But it feels like a better version of the last gen, right? But something happened between 360 and PS3 and Xbox One and PlayStation 4 where these devs, I don't know, maybe they took some UI courses or something, but I don't think they ever got back to like the kind of clunky nature of those previous console games. Because I was playing, I was like, man, this feels like an old game because of like. Even like the levels, I was running around the levels, and Dark Void is cool because you can go vertical and regular. I was like, okay, that's cute. But you look at the textures and you can look at the geometry, and it's all for squares and triangles everywhere. I was like, okay, this geometry is kind of rough, but it's a 360 game, of course. The frame rate is pretty high because the Xbox. I'm only on the Xbox One X, so I still get a resolution and bump and I think I get a frame bump. I'm not sure though. I'm not sure about Dark Void, but it didn't seem slow. But the aiming is really bad. Anyway, it's just like the move in technology, the advancements in technology as far as I guess photogrammetry and just environment stuff is so much better than what it used to be. And I don't know if a lot of people realize it because they're not going back to play these old games. They're just, and they're just like playing Death Stranding. You look at Death Stranding, you're like, yo, that looks crazy nice with the environment. So even at a lower resolution or whatever, still looks beautiful compared to these older games. Because it's just way more geometry, or they do it in a way that it just looks like it's way more, but it's not actually. I mean, it is more, but it's just, they're just using it better. And that was an interesting thing that I ran into. I was like, oh, okay, the game is, and the music is so good. Dark Void's music is real good. I was like, okay, this is good music, right? It felt like Indiana Jones and Uncharted and what else? I was gonna say Anthem, but that's bad. I think I think they should make a remake. They should either remake Dark Void or make a sequel. Make a sequel to Dark Void. It's a pretty good game. I ain't gonna lie. If they made it like with today's technology and better aiming and stuff, it'd be dope. I think that was an EA game, if I'm not mistaken. Was that an EA game? No, it wasn't EA. Well, who made that? Who freaking made Dark Void? I don't remember now. Gosh darn it. I thought it was EA. Dark Void. Dark Void was a video game. Airtight Games. And it was published by Capcom. That's right, Capcom. And it was Unreal Engine also. So, yeah, it looked dope if it was today. Dark Void. But yeah, that came out in 2010. Man. 21 years ago. I mean, 11 years ago. Well, excuse me, Legend, sorry. Legend says, I got to run out now and get me Xbox because I can play Dark Void, the failed game from 1990. It's not from 93. I just said it's from 2010. You crazy. Crazy. But I'm just saying. It wasn't even just about Dark Void because I've been playing. What else did I play recently? I'm trying to think. I can't remember now. I know I tried to play Indiana Jones, but that game, I don't care what David Jaffe says. I don't like that game. It's like, it's just a little too last gen, if you know what I mean. I mean, it's last gen. Actually, you know what? It's Xbox original. And the fact that it is that, and like, if I compare that to Dark Void, it's not that far away. So, I'll give it a little bit of. I got to play more of it. I want to see if I can get past where I was before, but it's still weird. I'm curious to see what the new Indiana Jones game is gonna be. And I mean, we should all be excited because it's like on the Xbox side, there's mad games. There's so many games. I'm like, yo, there's a lot of games coming out. There's a lot of games coming out. People are like, hey, everybody got no game. There's a lot of games coming out, and y'all got Returnal coming out in a couple days. Right, 3 days for 5 days, and we'll see. I think it'll be okay. I don't think he's gonna win any awards. Know what Returnal looks like? Returnal looks like. Let me pull up some Returnal footage. I'm sitting here. There we go. Did it actually have a? Did it have a? Did somebody do a playthrough? First 17 minutes. Let's look at that. Mute. Full screen. Full screen. There you go. Yeah. All right. So did Returnal get graded? Did it get I guess the whatchamacallit, the NDA, not the NDA, the embargo for reviews are probably be the day of when it comes out. Okay, that sucks. I'm gonna tell you why, because that's just a still image. It's not even a freaking model. That was whack. That's pretty good right there. That looked pretty good right there. Approach forbidden. Do not white shadow. Okay, is that a model? I don't know. It's hard to tell. It's far away. They're pulling that 2001. They're trying to pull the 2001. Is this Unreal Engine? I think it is, right? Oh, that's a model right there. There you go. There you go. House Marky. Mark. I say House Mark. How come you getting down with all these 1950s games when you got that new hotness Returnal out? I think Returnal seems like it's. I like the environment, but I don't think it's. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about Returnal. It feels like it's like a Souls game, plus people are trying to compare it to ReCore as far as gameplay goes, and there is some merits to that, but I would say Returnal looks way better because I think it's more of a bullet hell than ReCore is, and ReCore is I just don't like the environment of ReCore. It's just too much sand. It gets everywhere, and does she crash? Oh no, she reappears at the crash site every time. I think that's what happens. Don't you have like fire suppressant system or something? Or that looks like the Razor Crest a little bit. Yo, hey yo, don't be biting off of the Razor Crest, son. Yeah, that kind of look like the Razor Crest though. Oh, she ain't got no engine now. How's she supposed to escape? Hey, you ain't getting out. Fire. So I don't. Damn, man, I was just about to say It's a bullet hell game. You beat me to the punch. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's the first thing. When I first saw footage of Return, I was like, that's a third person bullet hell game. Period. That's the first thing I thought, right? Then I saw a little bit of gameplay. I was like, oh, it's kind of like a Souls game, like more like Demon Souls or Bloodborne, as far as like kind of feel and environment, because Dark Souls is all medieval and stuff. So. I do like the speed. I would say that, but I don't like. She's running through it so fast. Like, how are you supposed to explore, or is it just like run through, which means that the environments are inconsequential. It's just something to run through to get to like a point. And everything's so dark, so it's like you can't really. Can you be like, oh, this is so beautiful? I mean, it looks good. Yes, yeah. Damn, the graphics look good. Yeah. Yes, I agree. And now that's her, right? So she's like, oh, shoot, I'm dead. I died it again. I'm in a time warp. What the hell's going on, And there's a gun, so she's going to get... Wait, she didn't have the gun before? Why is that gun so clean and the rest of her body's all dirty? See, this makes no sense. Sorry. So, I'm sorry, I have no sound because I haven't hooked it up. Though, you know why. And I don't want to get in trouble. I guess I get in trouble for having full screen. Nah, I got other stuff going on. See how clean that gun is? I don't make no sense. How is she all charred up and dusty? The gun's all brand new. Don't make no sense. All right, so you shoot the thing, open the door, suit computer. What is that? Okay, that's cool. And so it'll be, she'll probably have a list of scan this. This is this creature type of thing. Yeah, they got that stuff. Once again, she's just running through these environments, so it's just like a whole bunch of hallways and areas where you're just running around. So in that respect, it's like I had a theory about this game that has to do with the time loop. See, yeah, there's the bullet hell right there. And that's Housemarque's thing, right? So it's like, it makes sense for them to implement that into third person, and it looks pretty good. So I'm like, all right, that doesn't look dumb. I don't know how it controls. It looks like it controls pretty good. But my theory, I said it already, is that she's going to ultimately have to fight herself. I don't know how they could justify that, because as I understand it, every time she dies, the loop starts over again. But what if she dies, right, one time, but then actually undies, comes back to life somehow, some way, and then so there are two existing, what's her name, Celine's in the world at a point. Or maybe it happened like before your first loop. It already happened basically in the lure, in the canon. So as she's playing now, she has already been there. You know what I'm saying? She died and came back to life and still exists in this world. So, and she has evolved or maybe become the queen of these creatures. And so she's trying to, I guess she has to kill all the other versions of herself in order to remain, or so, I don't know. So far she's collecting brightly colored things and she's doing the scanny thing. All right. Scanning some more stuff. Opens gates and containers, but malignant cause malfunction. All right, so we have different types of items that are not so great. Look at the sphere. Look, it's destiny. It's the sphere. Collect artifacts. Reduce repair efficiency by 6%. Yep. Why did the rocks fly up like that? That was weird. I guess I mean, they're big on particle effects over at Housemarque, so I would expect that. But that didn't look. The physics looked weird off of those rocks. I would say that. That's the only thing I would say. What's that? Oh, see, so this is where the Dark Souls comes in, or the Demon Souls, or whatever, where you get the boss monster fights. You know what I mean? And so this is like, I think this right here is the highlight of this game, really, because all those other kind of encounters were like, oh, I gotta kill these guys so I can get out of here. But this is more like, oh, here we go. Oh, she did. Okay, she did, and then it does this. What is this? She's. Oh, so it starts with the. Oh, you know what? I have an idea. I have a new theory. When her ship got struck by lightning. When her ship got struck by lightning the first time, she actually died, right? But her going through this loop, this time loop, is her kind of limbo state until she can do something that will, where she can ascend to wherever she ascends to. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I think this is. So in that respect, anything can happen. You know what I mean? So she can have a doppelganger. She can have another version of herself that's in this world, like I said before. It could be anything if she's in a limbo type of fantasy type of thing. So that's kind of cool. Legend says, the real conversation is that $70 price tag, though. I definitely got some words on that. I ain't paying for it. If it was $60, they would have had my money already. I agree with you 1,000%. It clearly seems to be a game that I would pay and love, but never finish, and that to me is not worth $70. Interesting theory. I'll probably never find out because I'll never finish the game despite loving it. I agree with you that I think the problem with Sony with the price hike, not with just Sony, but with the price hike, is that they're pushing everything that they would just consider to be, you know, not AAA, but what they would charge for 60 to 70, when in actuality the bump up to 70 gives room in the middle to have different levels or tiers of like AA or triple B games like this. This isn't a AAA game. It's close. It looks good. It looks fun, right? But is it really a AAA game? I mean, But like you said, 60 is a perfect spot for it, because it's like, oh, it's not quite Uncharted or The Last of Us. And that's the thing. They have set this up, that they have done this to themselves. They have created these games and they've created the expectation of AAA, right? So Last of Us 3 or Uncharted 5, yeah, that's going to be 70 obviously, cuz that's a Naughty Dog game. That's, I say it's a AAA game. Yeah, I mean, if you want to say AAA game but it's only $60, what does that mean? Is it, I'm not trying to say it's not a AAA game, or I'm not trying to say it's a AA game to diminish the game. I'm just trying to say, compared to what AAA is on the PlayStation, it's not there. This ain't Uncharted 4. This ain't The Last of Us 2. That's what I'm saying. And that $10, like, I agree with you. The $10 is just, that's it. $10. It just feels like, it feels right. Like $60, like, yeah, all right, let's go. But 70 feels like y'all are being greedy, man. I mean, really? $70? Really? But you got no choice if you want to play it. Or you could wait for a sale, which a lot of people will. And then your boy, what's his name, is going to cry about it. Like, why I going to buy it for full price? I'm like, yo, man, it's just you need to shut up. You need to shut up. When you start crying about how people spend their money on your stuff, well, either make it better so people feel that it's worth whatever you're charging, or shut the hell up and be grateful that they buy it at all. Dummy. Legend says, what it doesn't have in story, it picks up in gameplay, making it AAA, in the same boat with those other epic games. David Jaffe can shut down. Yeah, Dave's. I mean, I wasn't talking about David Jaffe in that respect. It was the guy who he interviewed. I totally forgot his name. But you know what? I would agree with you. I would say that the gameplay in this is probably better than The Last of Us 2. Definitely looks more fun, right? But I think what makes those games more AAA or put them in a AAA category is that cinematic quality, the storytelling, the acting, and all that stuff. Like I said, if this game had that, it would be AAA, no problem. No question. But that's the thing. That's what Sony has created within their kind of. It's a perception. It's an expectation for Sony AAA games. It's like it's got to be heavy story-driven games, and it's got to be super acting and super voice acting and beautiful and all that stuff, right? And I'm like, yeah. And then the gameplay is kind of like secondary to that stuff. That's what I've noticed. Not saying the gameplay is bad, because it's not, but I'm just saying it's like they're really pushing the cinematic stuff and the story stuff and the acting. And I'm like, all right. I mean, this is a game. Last time I checked, this is a game we're supposed to play. Gameplay is supposed to be number one. And in this respect, I say, yeah, gameplay is number one here. But like I said, it's about perception and expectation. And that's what Sony's done for years. So, and it's good. It's good. I like those type of games. But, you know, when other games come and they don't get the same shine or respect because it doesn't have the cinematic qualities or the production value or voice acting or stars, you know, have Kojima hiring Norma Reedus and all that stuff, you know, then you're like, oh, like, who is this? Like if that lady was like, I don't know, Jennifer Aniston or something, then it would knock it up a notch because, oh, it's Jennifer Aniston, right? But, I mean, that might be a bad example. How about Linda Carter? Nah, she's I mean, this lady's old too, but how about, what's her name? Who is I going to say? Helen Mirren. I mean, she's old, but how about a younger version of Helen Mirren? Like, not Caligula young, but, you know, maybe 10 years past Caligula. Helen Mirren. You know? That'd be dope. Does this lady have a British accent? I haven't heard anything from her. Legend says, but back to the $70 thing. They're trying to set a precedence that all game companies will follow. You see Sony games with that $70 price tag today, but tomorrow you'll see Xbox and Nintendo with $70 title. And I'm not down with that because, as you said, they're not all worth $70 server construction. Oh, no problem. Yeah, I agree. It's unfortunate that they went that way. I don't know if it was 2K who started it, or maybe Sony was like, "Yo, we're gonna do this," and then 2K was like the first one out the box to really do it. Because I'm trying to think. I mean, who really kind of sets that up? Wouldn't it be the console manufacturers? Because they have, I mean, the devs and the publishers have to get with them to make the games on their console, so they have to pay a fee to put it on PlayStation. So wouldn't PlayStation be like, yeah, our games are going up, just letting y'all know, and then they'd be like, all right, cool, and so we're going to do that too? I mean, I don't know how, you know, what came first, the 2K or the Sony, so. But, yeah, I don't think it was necessary. They were making plenty of money with DLC and just, you know, freaking, season passes and battle passes and all this. They were making money. They were making look, Fortnite makes money because there's a battle pass every 3 months or something like that. $10 every 3 months. What is that? $40 a year for years? I mean, you give the game away for free as long as you support it for 2 years, and you're making more than $70. So it's so ass backwards. And people, I want to smack the mother flowers on the internet who are saying, oh, it was about time that the game prices went up. They haven't raised game prices in so long, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, shut the hell up. Because, like I just said, before, when game prices weren't so high or it hadn't gone up, or the $60, or they were freaking, this is over already? Yeah. They were, whatchamacallit? Let me go back a little bit. they were $40, they were $50 and $60. They didn't have battle passes and game pass and season passes and all that stuff. They didn't have that. It was just buy the game, that's it. So there's no excuse. There's no excuse. They were making the money, and this is just a greedy kind of. It's infuriating in my brain. It's infuriating, and I hate it, and I hate it. I can't explain how much I hate it. It's really bad. But the gamers can stop this by not paying $70 for games they won't charge what they can't get. That's true, but there's no other choice on the PlayStation side. You can't play the game any other way, right? But on Game Pass, on Xbox, you can be like, oh, I'll just play it on Game Pass. I won't buy it. And even if, this is a bad example, but even if it's a $70 game on Xbox, right? And it's in Game Pass, you'd be like, I'm gonna buy it. You still get a discount. You get, I think it's 15 to 20%. So it may not be back to, actually, it kind of comes to about a $60 game if you want to add in the price and taxes and stuff. So they're trying to sell Returnal Game of the Year edition for $80, and what is in the 80 pack you shouldn't already be in it. Exactly, that's the thing. Where they're gonna put in a sticker or something. I mean, that's like the Jackie Robinson $100 MLB version. I'm like, I mean, some of this stuff is like for super, I don't want to say super rich people, but some people have so much money that they can, like $70 is nothing. It's whatever. That's a sandwich to them. You know what I mean? So I can understand companies just trying to charge more because they know some people have more money and they'll buy it. But when you look at the bigger picture and you look at the masses, and you look at the families who have multiple systems and have kids, like the gamers who grew up and had kids and who are buying systems for their children, and you look at $70 and you're like, what are you doing? And that's the whole thing about Nintendo that I don't get. It's like, Nintendo's supposed to be, like a family friendly type of thing, but how they have their infrastructure set up for multiplayers, or you can't even share a game really. It's so crazy over there, man. It's like whatever. But yeah, I agree with you. The $70 thing is ridiculous. And they're pushing everything goes up 10. So when it was 60, it was 70 and like an $80 or $90, different, steel book, and then the super deluxe with the figure. Well, that's like over 100 and stuff. But yeah, man, it's so frustrating, and I'm so glad that Game Pass exists in that respect, because I can be like, you know what, that sucks, and I'm not buying a game. I'm sorry, I might buy a game maybe. If it's on Game Pass, I get the discount. I won't feel as bad. Or if I want to be like, I want to support whatever. F all that, man. $70 is almost 3 hours pay. I ain't doing this. That's true. It's true. Like, how long is this game? It better be. Of course, it's gonna be longer than 3 hours. But I'm just saying, it doesn't. Yeah, man. I mean, what is Sony gonna do? I mean, are they gonna offer it in PS Now? I mean, that's the thing that. Like, if they did day and date for these games, then it would be a different story. But I think what they might do is they might follow the movie to Blu-ray kind of model, where the movie comes out. Like, the movies used to come out in the theaters, and then it would be like 3 or 4 months or something, and then it would come out for sale on Blu-ray in the stores. And then, I guess a month later after that, it would be on streaming or something. So maybe they're trying to follow that model. So it'd be, here's the release. And then 3 months later, it'll be I was gonna say PS Now. It doesn't make any sense. Well, I guess maybe 6 months later, it'll be on PS Now. I don't know. To boost subs. I think they're gonna have to start putting them in there sooner than later. So we'll see. We'll see. So this is April, and this is coming out on the 30th. So April. I'm calling it before September. This game's going to be 60. Yeah, no, I agree. Way before September. It's April now. April, May, June, July. I'm gonna say June. They might have a sale. They might have a super duper Sony sale, and then they pop it down to 60 or something, or 50 if they want to be generous. But yeah, I agree with you. I think what it is also is they want that initial like hype boost. So it's like, yo, we could charge a lot because the early adopters, the not the reviewers, but the people who want to play it, who aren't in the industry but want to review it because they have a little channel, they have to buy it. So we'll get a little bit of cash there, and then whatever else. And if it slows down, or if the Metacritic's not so high, and that's another thing that is, I don't want to say troubling, but is kind of weird, where Sony puts so much credence and credit into the Metacritic scores, right? And I think that's what, I mean, I just heard that recently, but I was like, is that why all these ponies specifically were like, yo, Metacritic, and always talk about Metacritic and showing like, the 60s and the 70s that the Xbox always has, right? And they show all not all, but some of the 90s or the green stuff that's on PlayStation. And is that why? Is that why that's a thing? Because Legend says, I agree, June, but we have to facilitate this by not buying it at 70. Back in the day, they tried to sell Final Fantasy for $100. People don't realize is that she fell off fast. Yeah. I mean, like I said, it depends on the Metacritic. Is going to affect sales, and that price definitely affects sales. And like I said before, the perception of this game is like, is it triple A? And like you said, it seems to be, right? And I would say it's got one toe. It's triple A, but it's like one little pinky toe in triple A. It's like barely it just made it into triple A. But that's only because of what the standard was set by the previous games. God of War, Last of Us, Uncharted, Ghost of Tsushima. I give Ghost because it's open world and it's pretty good. And what was the other one? I mean, Death Stranding, yeah, it was just a weird game. But like, I mean, a lot of those things, it's production value. It's like the mocap and the facial animation and all these things that isn't janky. And this doesn't have any of those problems. Like I said, the animation isn't, I won't say it's janky. It's a little exaggerated. But like facial animation, it looks fine. It looks good. So I'm like, okay. But, I mean, the type of game, like, imagine a side-scrolling, imagine Abe's Odyssey for $70. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like, it's about the gameplay style and the lack of the things that push regular games with just regular gameplay up into the AAA stuff, which is production value, cutscenes, story, acting, and all that stuff. So, but yeah, I think this is the entry level AAA, but $70 AAA, nah. And that's the thing. If it was 60, everybody would be buying it, even if it didn't get great scores. It's like perception. It's like, oh, it's 60, so okay, let's go. And they should hold that $70 price for the bangers like Uncharted, whatever, or Last of Us, like the ones that are like, or God of War 2, Ragnarok, whatever. That's what they should be like. Yeah, this is 70 because it's 70. I was gonna say I guarantee, but I'm pretty sure that the budget for this game, Returnal, was not as high as God of War or Uncharted or all those other games. So why are you charging that? It should be kind of lock in step with the budget of the game, should be reflective in the price that you're charging for the game. You know what I'm saying? But that's not how business is. It's about perception. If they think they can push it off as a $70 game, they're going to try. Like you said, Nintendo tried that before with the 3DS. And they were like, nah, I think, what was it, $2.99 or something when it came out? And they were like, yeah, nope. And they had to drop the price. It's just like, oops, sorry. Legend says, gamers need to realize that we have power. Look at the GameStop stock scandal that took the world by storm, where we spent our money, has real power. We need to utilize it. True. Yeah. But I don't think people are I don't think this has come up as far as, like, they're you got, what's his name? He's at Bloomberg now. For some reason, Jason Ronald came into my brain, but that's not Jason Schreier. He's writing stories about, Ben's studio wanted to do this, and then this other group was polishing all these games, and then now they put the Uncharted remake, Last of Us remake back to Naughty Dog, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, that's a good, well and fine. But who's doing the story about $70 games and why they shouldn't be $70? I've heard that why they should be $70 or it's about time. And like, do you work for Sony? Are you getting paid? Is your payment directly tied to the price increase for these games? Why? It's like, I want to pay more. It's like, no, I don't think anybody said that ever. I think people want to pay a fair price. And that is a subjective. Is it subjective? Yeah, subjective. To the person. Like, some people look at this like, yeah, no, I'm not paying that. Some people just want to get a deal, which is fine. But when it's fair, it's fair. Like Game Pass, right? I'm not gonna pay until next year, June next year. So I gotta stack up some more Game Pass deals. But anyway, that's a deal, yes. But $15 a month for Game Pass. If they put out one AAA game per month on Game Pass, I'm fine with it, because that's $15, and I play one game a month. 15. You can play more than that, but I'm just saying, that would be what I would pay for a AAA game. And some games I wouldn't even buy, like MLB. Now I get to play it and see, is it good? Is it bad? Do I enjoy it? At least I get to play it. It's like buying a ticket to Disney World or Islands of Adventure or something, just riding all the rides. Let me try that one. I already paid to get in. Let's go. Let me ride the Harry Potter ride. Ew. Legend says all the game dinner lists are always talking about how it's okay to spend that because the game devs need that money. If they pull out high quality games, they'll get their money. Like Call of Duty got way more than $70 worth my money in the last 2 years. Overwatch is still getting close to 60 of my money every year. Yeah. That was the whole argument with the guy who made it was the guy, I guess it was the director of Days Gone, game journalist. I didn't know what that is. Game dinner lists. That's funny. But yeah, the Days Gone guy. That was the guy who said pay full price for these games and maybe you get a sequel. And I was like, okay, that's the problem. That's what a whole bunch of people said. He put that on Twitter, and everybody's like, "Yeah, if you don't make a buggy ass piece of hot garbage game, then maybe I'll pay full price." So he got a mouthful. We haven't heard from him since. He got his ass chewed out on Twitter. So yeah, I agree with you. If you make something quality, people will buy it. If you make something good, people will buy it. That's why I'm not gonna talk shit about God of War or Horizon Zero Dawn or the other games. Last of Us 2, I wouldn't have bought it because that's not the type of game I want to play. But I can see, yeah, sure, it's AAA. Sure, it's worth 60. That's what it was back then. So I think the first one's more closer to a game I would play, only because the main character's relationship is what is the foundation and glue of that game. And when you take that away, it changes what was so appealing about that game and that story. And I look at The Last of Us 2 and it's like, okay, the actual gameplay parts, they're better, yes, but the other parts, while production-wise are better, not as enjoyable because it's not they've changed what the game was about. They changed what the narrative was about. Now, that being said, sure, you can't have, the same game over and over again, but yeah, we're not getting into it, but yeah, I agree. You make a good game, people will buy it. That's it. And the thing is like, Overwatch just snuck in. I think is Overwatch free now? But they just snuck in with that charging full price for a game like that, right? But now it's all free to play, Halo multiplayer is going to be free to play. That's people. I don't know how many people realize that, how big a deal that is. Plus, you don't need live anymore to play online on Xbox anymore, right? So if you have an Xbox One or Series, you can play Halo for free. It's a free-to-play game. Download it, play it. So you can get an S for $2.99 and get Halo, and just be like, "This is my Halo box, $2.99," and play it for years. They said 10 years, so we'll see. How we all going to feel when the Super Mario World is $70 with $10 deals? Yep. I mean, that's what's gonna happen, and I can't imagine paying full price for those Nintendo games. It's just like, that's just Nintendo, though, you know. And they have their fans, so it feels like, I mean, some fans, whether it's Xbox, Sony, Nintendo, it's like, it's like whatchamacallit syndrome. Stockholm syndrome, where they can't do anything wrong. You love them to death, no matter what they do. They're all doing it for the for your benefit and whatever. You always defend them no matter what, right? There are fans on all sides with that. We're not that, obviously, because it's like, yeah, no, I'm not paying $70. Yeah, no, y'all crazy. Yeah, no, Jim Ryan be talking some shite. Da da da. There's a whole bunch of things that make the I don't want to say industry, but it's just the environment of where the fans and the execs and all this stuff kind of converge weird, because you have the crazy Stockholm syndrome people, then you have regular people, then you have casuals who just like, I just want to play Fortnite. I don't care where's that. Let's go. They have kids who don't know anything. They just know whatever their parents give them. So it's like, it's a lot of if they could do it, they would do it. They charge more than $70. They would charge $100. I don't think so. Like I said, remember they tried that with the 3DS. When that first came out, they tried to charge, was it $350? I think it was $349, right? And then they dropped the price at, I think, $299. I can't remember. But it was yeah, and people were like, nah, nope. And they dropped the price like months later, like real quick. It was really crazy. So they've been through that already. Like, if they have amnesia, maybe they forgot. Maybe they forgot what they went through, and they're gonna try it again. But I don't think they'd be that dumb. Nah. And besides, they sell so many. Like, when they put out a game, they don't like flood the market with a lot of their games at once. They're pretty smart when they put out a game. Like, they'll put out a game and let it chill for 6 months, and then maybe another game, or maybe a game a year, so that game has legs. And the Switch is like, probably, I don't know how many million they've sold already, but they've sold a lot. And so the games, the attach rate is crazy, because that's why you buy a Switch, is to play those games. So and that's I think that's the thing that Sony kind of tries to do. They like, oh, we want to do the Nintendo, and we want to do the Apple, and smash them together and call it Sony. And I'm like, okay, but that only works. It only works if your games are And so far it's been okay, but they've had a couple of and even the games that have been like successful, that haven't been failures, like Days Gone. They didn't greenlight a sequel because it didn't make enough money. It didn't meet their expectations, and that's crazy. That's a crazy problem, and that's a crazy indication of what Sony is looking at. Sony's looking at making games that make money. And so then they're going to take less risks. They're going to make a whole bunch of sequels. Spider-Man is going to be for... This is where I go back. I say Insomniac, I feel bad for them, because they're going to be making Spider-Man games for the rest of their lives. And that's messed up. They're going to be like, yo, I'm tired of Spider-Man. Want to make something else. But it's going to be like, nope. It sells too much. Where there's a whip, there's a way. We don't want to go to war today. Make Spider-Man 12. And Insomniac like, no, we want to make Jack and Daxter. I mean, that's Naughty Dog. We want to make Ratchet and Clank 59, 69 time. Like, no. Well, they could. I mean, they've been doing both, so. I mean, I guess as long as Sony allows them to make something else and Spider-Man, then they'll. I guess that's all right. I guess that'll satiate them enough. They still have to make Spider-Man games, and that's my point. Is that they still have to make Spider-Man games, even if they don't want to make a Spider-Man game. They have to make Spider-Man games because it makes them too much money. Sony, that is. So, that's that. Now, Naughty Dog's in the same position in a way. They've flooded the market with The Last of Us. They got a show. They got the remake. Or Naughty Dog, actually, because now they have the Uncharted movie as well. And like I said before, I think an Uncharted game would be better and probably sell better than a Last of Us remake. Just saying. And if they reimagine, if they did a God of War to Uncharted, where they said, okay, we're putting Tom Holland's face in it, he's going to do the voice acting, oof, would that work? I don't know. It might work. Who knows? He's charming, I guess. He's an actor. That says if they don't want to make Spider-Man games anymore, they can quit and go get another job and create another studio because that cash cow must be milked. I mean, yeah, they can quit. That's a sucky that's a sucky choice. Like, you can quit. I'm like, oh, okay. But Sony's still gonna make Spider-Man. So there's gonna be some leftovers from Insomniac, because like the whole team ain't gonna leave. The whole team ain't gonna quit. There's always gonna be some stragglers, right? And so those stragglers are going to be the Spider-Man team. And then they'll just build a new Spider-Man team, new Insomniac, whatever you want to call it. It's just like Infinity Ward. Infinity Ward is not Infinity Ward. Infinity Ward is not the Infinity Ward that your boy Titanfall Respawn made. They all, well, not all of them, but some of them went to make Respawn. And Infinity Ward is like, whatever, the leavings, the interns that were there at Infinity Ward, now they're the heads, I guess. I don't know how it works. But, I mean, you know what? It's possible if they all leave, like the example I just used, like Respawn. They can all leave and be independent, and then Microsoft could buy them, and then, yeah, there you go. And then Sunset Overdrive, too. Right? No, but Insomniac would still own that. That's weird. Anyway, that's okay. Well, Sony owns it because they bought Insomniac, so I think. Legend says, I don't even think there's anybody left from the old Infinity Ward that's a total new studio. Those dudes left 10 years ago, but the cash cow must be milked. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's like if you're still making games that are good, then I don't have a problem. If you're making a game that's like a game of, or evergreen game, or a game that just isn't about like one title, a one and done type of game, like a Minecraft or Warzone, and it's just an ongoing game, Apex Legends, Fortnite, then that's fine because you iterate on that game, and that's that. But just making sequel after sequel after sequel after sequel, that's milking. Making another Spider-Man, that's milking. So I don't know what Halo Infinite's gonna be, if it's going to be a type of persistent game, if that makes sense. Not persistent in the sense that it's always alive or always running, but that it's a game that will live for 10 years and they'll have updates that add on to the game, as opposed to making a brand new game and here's the next Halo Infinite 2 or whatever. Just Halo Infinite here's the next expansion, if you will. That makes more sense. And that way you can say, okay, boom. And then, the team could change and leave, and you can have different teams working on different expansions, which is how it happens, because it'll be a smaller team. It won't be a full-fledged team. So So that actual business model makes more sense because you can get more content out of an IP more frequently and keep it alive longer. And that it seems like it's a like the Miles Morales DLC where it's like a short half of a quarter of a game. If that came out more of a regular cadence, then I would never like every 6 months a Miles Morales DLC or maybe a Black Cat DLC or a Spider Gwen DLC comes out. Hell yeah, that'd be dope. That'd be dope as hell. Or expansion. Let's call it expansion. So Spider Gwen expansion comes out and they posit it as that, not like, oh, this is a brand new standalone game, trying to make it like it's a full game when it's not. Just say, yo, we improved the engine. It's the same underlying game, but we changed some stuff. This is an expansion. Just be real, man. They're trying to act like it's something bigger than it is. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying they keep capping in a way that it's like, yo, you're turning me off right now. Just don't treat us like fucking idiots. Legend says, but this is what devs have to understand. Yes, the cash cow must be milked, but the milk has to stay the same quality. If that quality drops, then you have a situation like Battlefield and Destiny. People stop buying the milk because it ain't the same milk, and their expect quality standards have to be maintained. Yes, I agree. What happened with Destiny? Did something happen recently, or was that that was the first game, not the second one, right? Legend also says, I think that's why the CEO of Blizzard left. The money men were demanding the high quality game, and I don't think he could hang with that. Well, that's a lot of the times, it's like, yo, we need this game by this time. It's like, well, we can't because we can't get it. It's not gonna be good. So yeah, I can see that. But yeah, the quality thing is yes, super important. And I think like that studio that wasn't a studio, that group over at Sony that had no name, it had no budget, but they were basically the finishers of all the bangers that come out of Sony. And the fact that they didn't get any shine like that is kind of sucky. And I'm like, damn, man, y'all treating them like shit. And they making your games work. You know what I'm saying? They were like animation specialists, basically. So they would get in there and they would fix all the stuff and make it look all dope. I'm like, yo, they're like basically Hollywood animators. And I'm like, y'all just treated them like garbage. And I'm like, wow, y'all, I don't know. I mean, everything that I've heard sounds bad, right? All that stuff sounds bad. And I'm like, why? Why would, man, you gotta create an environment where people want to stay. People want to work. People don't want to say, man, this is bullshit, I'm out. You don't want people to say that, especially when they're fixing your games and making your games super dope fly. So that never made sense to me in any capacity, but I understand it in a way that if a CEO is just trying to save money and make the most money, then they don't care about any of that stuff, because we're just machines. We're just robotics that make the cars. We're just robots that do the code. Like, yo, can you make this look better? It's like, yeah. It's going to take some time, though. Well, make it take less time. Thanks. They don't understand what it takes to make stuff better. Some of that stuff is hard. And then, sometimes you go, you try to make something and it's like, oh, wait, doesn't work. Why is it broken? Then you got to troubleshoot that, and, you got unexpected, problems. So, yeah, I mean, it's I think what it is, it's, when it comes down to it, it's like the artist versus the businessman, right? And so you're an artist and you're sitting here like, I want to make this and I want to make that, and it's going to be cool and it's going to be great. And the businessman, how long is it going to take? How much money is it going to cost to make this? And da-da-da-da. And when you cross those two, you're either going to spend a lot of money and take a lot of time, or you're going to be under budget and on time, and the game's going to suffer, or the art is going to suffer. So there's I don't know, man. It's I don't want to say it's frustrating, because that's just the nature of the beasts. So yeah, we could just hope that the companies that are making the games, the publishers and all that stuff, are giving these devs enough time and paying them well to get these games out there to make them good and stuff. Like Returnal looks pretty good. Looks like a fun game, but $70. We'll see. We'll see what the Metacritic says. If the Metacritic is not like a 90 or something, then it ain't $70. And that's another thing, like correlation between. And that's something Sony. That's something that Sony is that's in their culture. That's what they've created. So, that's not me making it up. So the correlation between Metacritic score and price. That's what I'm doing. Is it $70? Is it a 90 something? Okay, maybe it is $70. But if it's a 79, no, not $70. Sorry. You'd be lucky if you get 60. If it's a 79, something's wrong with your game. And maybe this is a bunch of, review bombers, but nah, I don't think so. But anyway, I got to go. I think I have to work tomorrow, which sucks. I don't like to work. Well, I mean, I don't mind working. I just don't. I'm usually off on Monday. Usually. Nope. Yeah, why not? I always end up on like the same songs. But yeah, appreciate you hanging out, legend. Aloha and all that stuff. Keep sending them pics, man. Keep sending them Instagram pics. Yummy. Nom, 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 nom. I think I'm gonna go inside and eat some stuff right now. But yeah, where's the other team? Here it is. I'll change the scene. There you go. You have to look at that. Let's see who's in Discord. Boop. Binary 667 DC Nate, Doom Plague, Havoc 978. Hey Jude, Jedi of Light, Kill Assist, Nux, Sonic, MXT, Shadow Next Gen, Sub-Z, Tiger Claw, and Will Khan. Preach. I preach you guys. And YouTube Pace. I seen you there before. Appreciate you up in there. And Bridget. Sure, whatever. The Mortal Kombat movie night was off the chain. You got to get yourself a plane ticket one of these days. True that. I would not mind going to Hawaii. There are worse places to go. Trust me. But until then, aloha again. Till the wait.